and welcome to another FAQ Monday. I'm your host, Fluff. If you want to leave a question, feel free to leave them down below in the description or over on my Ask FM account, because you wouldn't believe how many people still email me asking me where to ask a question. Yes, that's a real thing, and it happens all the time. And I'm like, you're kidding me, right? So there's a common thing right there. I don't know. Go figure, right? Some people's kids. First question. What are your thoughts on Adam Jones of Tool? Are you a fan of his playing? Yes. Who isn't? I mean, except for you. But still, yes. I love Adam Jones. I love Tool. I love that he's a Les Paul guy, and I love the fact and really respect the fact that he has had his core guitar tone forever. So he's been a Marshall Plexi and a Diesel VH4, and it used to be 2-channel dual rectifier, all that stuff. And there's guys on forums that I've seen that have recreated his rig to the T with the vintage Les Paul and all that stuff. I love that stuff. I think it's awesome. He is one hell of a player and super, super innovative, and a prime example of, you don't have to be a shredder to be an amazing guitar player. It's about what you don't play as much as it is what you do play. And if you haven't seen it already, check this out. I plugged it a long time ago, but this is like a documentary in 1995 or 6 of Adam Jones talking about how much he loves his Les Paul. And I think Opiate was out, and yeah, so it was like 93. And Undertow's not quite out yet, I don't think, when it was filmed. But anyway, it's old, it's awesome, and he's just geeking over his Les Paul, and it's like the only guitar he has when it was being filmed, and it's super, super awesome. But yeah. If you're not familiar with Tool, you need to go check them out right now. I've been thinking about getting a Marshall DSL or TSL. I know that they got a lot of hating, but what do you think of them? I actually like the DSL and TSL stuff. I have not tried the new DSL stuff. I've only played the original JCM 2000s. I know they stopped production for a while because they had lead in the solder, and they ran out of some parts that the circuit board used, so they had to redesign, and now they're made in China. I'm told they sound pretty good, and they're fairly inexpensive. I have not tried the new ones, but generally speaking, yes, the DSL and the TSLs are awesome. Good enough for Jeff Beck, good enough for me. Seriously, you've heard the DSL on a lot of modern rock records, and you can get them used for really, really little money. I've often gone on eBay and be like, I wonder how much DSL is right now. And you can get it for like $600 sometimes. So just keep an eye out. I definitely recommend getting a good old used one, because they did have some problems with, I believe, overheating and things like that. But if it's lasted till now, then you're probably good to go. So, or get a new one. I don't really care. But yeah, check them out. Maybe I'll pick one up one of these days. I don't know. Fluff! What do you think of Peavey's VTMs? A lot of people say they're like buffed up JCM 800s. I recently scored a VTM 120 half stack for a great price, and I'm super stoked on it and wanted to know what you think of them. Oh, I love the VTM stuff. I had a VTM 60 many years ago, and it was awesome. In fact, one of the best sounding amps that I have ever played is a Fortin modified VTM 120 from a guy on Rig Talk that is here local. And good Lord, that amp was just insane. Fortin did a couple of things to it and tweaked the circuit, and wow. Amazing, amazing amp. And you can find them very, very, very inexpensive on the used market. VTMs are most famous for being used by Kim Thale of Soundgarden, pre-Super Unknown. That was all VTM, Peavey VTM stuff, live in the studio. Yeah, they were kind of like a 800 modified. The story behind the VTMs is, I can't remember the band's name. Ironically, they weren't that big, but Peavey desperately wanted them on the artist roster, and they were playing really highly modified JCM 800s, and they apparently said, well, yeah, we want this exact amp, and you put your name on it, fine. Give us all the options to switch them on and off, hence the dip switches on the front. And Peavey said, okay, fine. And so the VTM was born with all the dip switches that you can do all the tonal variants and stuff like that. It's an amp tweaker's dream. Highly, highly recommend you finding one. If you find one for cheap, getting it. Just get it. And they're extremely, extremely heavy, so be aware of that too. So if you have back problems, don't get one. But otherwise, yeah, totally get one. Awesome. Maybe I'll get one and do a video for you guys eventually. This week, I suggest to you check out this Creative Live class from Nolly and Matt from Periphery. Nolly takes you through the entire mix process from beginning to end, starting with choosing drums, miking drums, all the way up to dialing guitar tones and all that stuff. It's $100 to actually buy the class. It is worth every single penny. I bought it even after watching it. I bought it. Highly recommend it. He's in Logic. He takes you through the mix process, the buses, everything. It is step by step. And I couldn't have done it better myself. Nolly is a gentleman and a brilliant, brilliant studio engineer. I think you guys would really dig it. That's all I have for you guys this week. You have been wonderful. I have been Fluff. I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.